Hey guys, my name is Michaela and welcome back to A Peaceful Pursuit. Today I'm going to be doing, I guess it's like my 31 to 33 week pregnancy update. I'm still 33 weeks right now. I'll be 34 weeks early next week. I'm just going to do it all in one. Yes, I'm out of breath. That's going to be a symptom that I'm going to be talking about, and I just was like getting my camera all set up, so now I'm like winded. Let's get right on into it. So I totally stopped writing in my, I was doing like a weekly journal, and it's just gotten to be a lot working, trying to get things ready here, and I've had to just give myself a lot of grace. So I'm actually very thankful that I've made these videos, because this way I still have something to look back on. And honestly, there are some weeks where nothing really changes, you know, it's just like his growth and everything, but I can always look back at that on these videos, and on the app you can always go back too. So I'm not too worried about it, but it's just, it got to be so much. So I'm thankful for these videos. I'm gonna tell you guys what the app says for 33 weeks, and then I will just talk over symptoms from the past couple weeks. So I just pulled this up. 33 week highlights. Huffing and puffing. Typical to be short of breath as your growing uterus puts pressure on your diaphragm and pushes up against your lungs. Oh my gosh. Pregnancy brain, forgetful, which I have had that literally from day one of conceiving. I don't know. I'm not normally a forgetful person, and yeah, having to be humbled in that way throughout my pregnancy has been pretty interesting. But the huffing and puffing, yes, that is something that I've had it on and off in pregnancy. There's certain days where I just felt more tired than others, but now I feel like it's more of a physical thing rather than just like, oh, I'm having a more tired day. Like, I will go get groceries or the laundry, I'll haul that, you know, up and down the stairs, and then I'm like, okay, I need to take a break on the couch now for at least 15 minutes. It's just, you're just like, I don't know, it just, you feel like you have this bowling ball in your stomach. It doesn't really, I don't really feel like I can't breathe. If I am laying a certain way, I'll kind of feel that way. Really uncomfortable and like I can't get a good breath. I think just how things are sitting and pressure and all that stuff. But generally it's just like, I feel like I'm always out of breath, like I'm taking deep breaths, and I don't know, it just is what it is. So baby size right now, he's about the size of a pineapple. Of course, this is always give or take 17.36 inches head to toe. That just depends on your baby. Obviously these are just generalizations. And then 4.77 pounds, so that could be give or take as well. But no wonder you start to feel it. And then as for the baby, it's talking about skull flexibility. That makes sense. Their bones don't fuse together, you know, till later. Skin smoothing, losing that wrinkled alien look. Skin is less red and transparent, becoming soft and smooth. And then lots of movement, but it's getting more snug. So instead of like the somersaulting, it's just kicks or punches. And at my 32 week appointment, I had shared that, I mean, I didn't know for sure, but I was like, I think he flipped head down, because around 30 weeks, it was the weekend. So I was like 30 and a half weeks. And I remember we were eating dinner, and I just got so uncomfortable. And then I was walking around literally like with my legs straddled, like waddling like a penguin, and I was like, okay, something is different, and I hope I don't have to walk like this for 10 more weeks, because that would be horrible. I don't know, I just had a feeling that he flipped, but I was like, well, obviously I don't really know. So I shared that with them, and I was like, something felt different. At that point I had obviously gotten used to it. The only difference was then I was starting to get up at night to use the bathroom. Only one time. I still only have to get up one time. But just that extra pressure from the head really makes a difference. So when I told them that, they're like, oh, I bet he got himself flipped. So my OB just like pressed pretty hard on my stomach. Like, oh, yep, like his head's down here and his little butt's up here. So he has flipped. I don't know. I mean, I think he's facing backwards right now. Obviously that could change, but as he continues to get bigger, like the likelihood of that is not super high, just because they run out of room. They can't turn themselves. Yeah, I'm hoping that he stays that way. He still is that way. I can feel his head when I like push on my lower abdomen. It's really weird. Those are probably my biggest symptoms between like 31 to 32. This past week though, I have had, I don't even know. I'm guessing it's reflux problems. I don't necessarily feel like I have heartburn because I've had that too with this pregnancy occasionally where it actually does burn. I haven't had any of the burning, but when I lay down, there's just so much air coming up. It literally makes me want to puke. It's so gross. So I was taking Tums, which honestly I don't really love to take. Kind of just more of like I try to do things naturally first, but that's what we had. I know papaya enzymes I think are like a more natural thing that I could get from the grocery store this weekend. So I might have to think about that, do a little more research on that. The Tums would help for a little bit, but it was just so horrible because it was like I'm so tired. So fatigue and reflux have been like my two biggest symptoms the past week. I'm like, I'm so tired, I need to lay down. But then I lay down and then I'm having stuff coming up and I feel sick. And then getting up and down is so uncomfortable because it's really hard to move. So it's honestly, the past week has been really hard. And my nausea also returned, and I don't really know if that was from, or if it's coming from the reflux or what, but I stopped taking Unisom B6 probably about a month ago and have been totally fine. I did start taking it again Wednesday of this week because I'm still working and I was just like, oh, I can't do this. And it was getting to the point too where food was starting to gross me out again. And with the GD stuff, that just gets to be really complicated if you can't eat. Check sugars, and when you're nauseous and you're having food aversions, carby stuff is what usually sounds good. And so I was like, okay, I am not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna start my Unisom up again, and I have been feeling better. Yesterday I felt sick most of the day, but by the evening I was good. And now today I felt good this morning, and then kind of the lunch hour I did not feel good at all, and then now I'm feeling okay. So I think it's starting to kick back in, but if it is from the reflux, I don't know how much the Unisom, like, I think it will help. It'll take the edge off. You know, if it's reflux, like, that just is what it is. It's because he's pushing up on all my organs, everything's squished together, and I can really feel it, and it's just, it's so uncomfortable. So I've been very, very uncomfortable the past week. I don't know, I've read different women saying that either it gets worse, or they were like, for them the worst was like 32 to 36 when baby was doing a ton of growing, and your organs are just getting adjusted to being in different positions. I don't know. I'm hoping and praying that that would be the case for me, because I don't really want to feel like this for the rest of the time. You know, not that it's not been a bad thing for me to be forced to rest and slow down and give myself grace, because I've been talking about that a lot on my channel. I'm just really struggling with that, always being a go, go, go person. So it's not been a bad thing at all. It's not fun to not feel good. So I'm like, okay, God, like, I will really try to be disciplined. Like, I'll ask you for help, you know, convict me when I'm doing too much, but please don't make me feel miserable, because feeling miserable for the first 22 weeks, that was like wearying enough. And I'm just like, I don't know, it's just really hard. So I'm hoping that that's on the up and up, but if I need to, like, I'll look into the papaya enzymes, because that might help. And just keeping my body, you know, moving, but also resting when necessary, I think will be really helpful. And knowing that I'm almost done, like, I'm getting really nervous about birth and everything, but I'm also super excited. Like, I'm just ready to hold him and snuggle him, and I feel like we just know each other. It's so weird. Like, you hear moms say stuff like that, and I was like, that is so weird. But I just feel like we do. And I'm really excited for that to, you know, to actually get to experience that and like live through that. So that joy that I'm looking forward to is really what's like keeping me going, and just trusting in God to sustain me, because He sustained me through the 22 weeks of horrible sickness. So I know He can sustain me through this. It's just definitely stressful. So I would definitely really appreciate prayers just for conviction when I need to rest, when I need to give myself grace, you know, stop doing so many things, but also just that I wouldn't feel super awful and sick as I finish out my last weeks of work, because I have the rest of November and then a bit of December before I'm going to be home working. And I mean, I guess if it gets really bad, I'll have to change that, you know, but that gets tricky with insurance and stuff too. So I'm kind of a little bit stuck, at least till part of December. I know it'll all turn out fine in the end. That's pretty much it. If you are around this much pregnant as I am with you. Like the discomfort, the fatigue, oh, the extra gas, the stomach pains, like just everything, I'm with you. And yeah, let me know if you have any at-home remedies if you've been through this before, because I could definitely use some. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you hit subscribe if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. We'd absolutely love to have you here, and I will see you guys on Tuesday for my next video.